So, what does it cost to own an airplane? Now that I am 6 months into this, I have a better idea of what this is really costing me, and I want to share it with you. So, my first message to everybody is don't be afraid. If you're thinking about doing this and you're watching this, you probably can already afford it. You can buy a plane. You just have to know what the costs are. So don't be afraid of buying it. And believe me, having your own plane is an amazing feeling just to be able to go out and don't have to deal with renting, and you jump in your plane. Well, you do the pre-flight, then you jump in your plane and you go flying. The freedom is unbelievable. So I know this is the big question. Airplanes obviously are not cheap, but neither are boats or fancy cars, and a lot of people own both and they're doing just fine. If you have owned a large boat before, sail or power, let's say above 37 feet, then the costs should be quite familiar to you. So let's get right to it. Let's use my plane, a 1968 Cardinal with a 150 horsepower engine. The engine has 1,100 hours on it, so it's still got some life in it. The plane costs $38,000. And if you've looked at the used plane market out there lately, that's a fair price. It is pretty minimal as far as what's in the plane as far as the avionics are concerned. In fact, it's very minimal, but we'll get to that later. So let's break down the monthlies. I keep the aircraft on paved parking. That's $100 a month. It sits outside, but it's $100 a month. The insurance is $790 a year, which is $66 a month. And fuel is around $35 an hour, and that's kind of in the medium range. So let's say if you fly 15 hours a month, which is realistic on average, here are your monthly costs. And I'll break down the $38,000 to a monthly payment of $350 a month. So let's break it all down. Your plane payment is $350, your parking is $100, your insurance is $66 a month. Your fuel is $35 an hour at, let's say, 15 hours a month. On the high side, that's $525 a month. So this totals $1,041 a month, and that is owning your own plane. Now, let's compare that with renting. If you were going to rent for 15 hours a month, you would pay 15 times, let's say, $150 an hour, which is $2,250. So owning is definitely cheaper than renting. This is where you're going to have to make your decision. Now, let's throw in some reality and talk about yearly expenses, the annual. If you take your plane into annual and nothing's wrong, it's going to be $1,500. You have a 4-flight or a typical EFB subscription, that's $300 a year. And maintenance, well, this is tricky. I can't really put a yearly figure on maintenance, but just plan for it here and there. It's like a boat, break out another 1,000. So let's look at it side by side. Owning a $38,000 airplane is $1,041 a month. Renting a similar aircraft is $2,250 a month. So how does it look to you? You also have to add in, what is it worth to you? What is it worth to own your airplane? So I'm going to have to make some upgrades to my plane, and I'm going to put that in the program after they're installed so I know exactly how much they are. I've been going back and forth on it, and so much depends on whether I'm going to keep the airplane or whether I'm going to get up to a certain number of hours and sell it, and I just don't know. But I do have to put a new transponder in there, which I am doing this April. The transponder is going to cost me about $3,000, and it's going to cost me about $1,000 to put in. So it does need some other upgrades to it, and I'm just going to have to wait until those are done to get the final amount. Anyway, I hope this helps. You have to lay out these numbers side by side and really go for it. Again, there's partnerships. If I were to bring in a partner in my plane, which I would be open to if it's the right person, that would cut my expenses straight down the middle, which would really be good. And I'm not using the plane every week. So I would trade off weeks. 1 week the partner would have it, 1 week I would have it. And you know what? I wouldn't even notice the difference. And if we get along, we'd probably be using the plane together. So that's something to think about too. But partnerships are tricky. It has to be with the right person. Anyway, I hope you like this. I hope it helps. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Leave your comments and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos too. And thanks for watching. We will see you soon.